What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Mahari here, representing MehariNation Sports Podcast here on a Thursday evening here in the city of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Salute to the entire LBBC. Salute to the greater boxing community, though, man. And we're about 2 days away from the big heavyweight championship fight between the WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder versus the WBC mandatory Dominic Breazeale. Now, this fight has been building up for almost a year. Both these competitors hate each other very, very much. And we're going to see some real fireworks in 2 days. You know what I'm saying? I cannot wait for this fight, though, man. You hear me? But let's get down to the business at hand here, guys. Now, one of the things that I was very disturbed by this afternoon today when I was watching the press conference of the fight on Showtime on YouTube was the amount of haterism and the amount of the comments that I was seeing out of these live streams, though, bro. I mean, it's sickening. I mean, if these trolls could take a moment to understand what's been going on behind the scenes of what Deontay Wilder has to put up with to make the fights happen that he wants to face, they would understand. But they choose not to because they want to live in this fantasy world and the fact that Deontay Wilder is fake. He doesn't want no smoke, and he's a talker with no bite. Well, one thing I'll tell you is this. I dare you to say that right to his face. Real talk. I dare any one of you trolls to say it to his face. You know why? You know why they won't do it? Because they don't want to deal with the consequences. Trust me. I've seen videos of this one troll in particular. I won't say his name. Not going to give him any shine. That tried to threaten his sickly daughter. And yeah, he got dealt with, all right? Got dealt with and humiliated by the champ himself. Trust me. Y'all don't want that kind of smoke. Believe that. So, the way I kind of see this fight is this. I see this fight as a knockout for Deontay Wilder. I don't see this fight going past 8 rounds, to be honest with you. But the one thing's for certain, though, Deontay Wilder is always prepared and always getting his mind ready for any possible scenario that's going to come to wait. You know what I'm saying? Now, Deontay Wilder is going to come in this fight, hopefully, to try to destroy Dominic Breazeale and get him out of here. Get him out of his sight. You know what I mean? And the way he was talking in that press conference, the way he was hyping himself up, you know Dominic Breazeale is going to be in for a long night. Believe that. You know what I'm saying? Now, the one thing that Deontay Wilder has to be careful of in this fight is the tendencies that Dominic Breazeale might do. Now, I fear in my mind he might try to go for a disqualification victory or try to, fake a knockdown to try to plead and beg with the referee or something like that. Because, man, this Dominic Breazeale, bro, is like he's one of those dudes, though, man, that just he just disgusts me. The way he talks, the way he moves, everything. Every time he moves his mouth, is like, oh, you don't sound real to me, bro. Like, you don't even sound genuine at all, And I don't believe anything that man says out of his mouth. He's just there to try to, take the shine away from Wilder, but more importantly, to try to disgrace Wilder and his family. Like, bro, get out of here. You're the one who's tried to instigate stuff in Deontay Wilder's home state, and you got dealt with by his brother. So I don't want to hear nothing that comes out of your mouth, bro. Real talk, But the way I see this fight is this. Like I said, I see this fight going I don't see this fight beyond 8 rounds because what Deontay Wilder's good at is basically reading and studying the opponent as the fight progresses. And the one thing's for certain, though, he has that championship grit. Even if you try to hurt this guy, he's going to suck it up and say, I want more. Bring it on, And his fights with Luis Ortiz and against Tyson Fury really impressed how he's been able to handle that adversity and also able to overcome it based on his power and his knockout ability. He doesn't have, here's the thing that I'll be honest with. He doesn't have the technical craft because he started boxing at a later age. But what he counters with is that the unorthodox methods, his unorthodox ability. The one thing's for certain, though, Dominic Breazeale is going to be in for a long night. Now, he has a decent right hand, but the question is, can he hurt Wilder to earn Wilder's respect? And I highly doubt it. But it's the heavyweight division. One punch, one knockout can change an entire life. So I know Deontay Wilder is prepared for the possible worst case scenario, but I'm sure he's not going to allow it to get to that scenario. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see this fight going past 8 rounds. Deontay Wilder is a quicker man. He has the power, and he's got the reach to do some damage to Dominic Breazeale. That's how I kind of see the fight. You know what I mean? Now, after the fight's over, and I assume that Deontay Wilder is going to win by knockout, it's going to happen. When it happens, though, I hope and pray that we get the AJ fight. I am so sick and tired of waiting for this fight. This fight has been building for a very long time. It is built up to the point where we've been tired of this debating about it, saying who wins, who deserves which and what. Like, I don't really care. I honestly don't. I just want to see the fight and who's the better man. I don't care if it's in the US or in the UK. It doesn't matter. I just want to see the fight. Give Wilder 50-50 and make the fight happen, AJ. That's very simple. Make 50-50 and the fight will happen. But I don't believe in my mind that AJ wants that kind of spell, because I don't think he believes he can beat Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see it. The way that, Joshua talks about Wilder, it's like, bro, you're basically scared of one man. Like, bro, give me a break. Like, if you had the belief in yourself to beat Deontay Wilder, why couldn't you accept the $50 million in the first place? That's what I would want to know. If I were interviewing Anthony Joshua, I'd come in with the real heat. Why you didn't take the $50 million? Why did you try to give him low ball offers? Why did you and your promoter try to give him low ball offers instead of just giving him 60-40? He would accept the 60-40, but you try to give him a low ball $15 million offer. And another thing though too, I also noticed this from the Showtime live stream though too, of the press conference. People were saying that Deontay Wilder ducked the $100 million deal. Let's get something straight here, okay? The $100 million deal was essentially a 4-fight deal, basically worth like what, 16 to 20 million. But none of these fighters were included, but none of them had the AJ deal in place. So, and they were going to take a percentage of the deal. So in hindsight, $100 million does sound good to the normal casual person's eyes. But if you actually read the details of the contract behind the scenes, you would notice that that's still another low ball offer, in all honesty. It's not like the Ortiz situation where he had an opportunity to take 6.5 or 7 million to face AJ, and it was a real offer. And then his promoter kind of just botched the deal because he felt that he can get more out of it. Now that was a real botch of the deal. That was basically cashing yourself out. This one, not the case. It's not the case at all. It's a totally different scenarios, So at the end of the day is this. Deontay Wilder is going to knock out Dominic Breazeale. No questions asked. He's going to dispose Breazeale and get rid of him. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I want Breazeale dead. I'm not going to say that out of my lips. But the bottom line is this. Boxing is a barbaric sport. So when I hear people say, oh, why is Deontay Wilder saying he's going to catch a body though, bro? Hello. Boxing is a barbaric sport, okay? People have died in the ring. People have suffered lifelong damage after their boxing careers are over. Look at Riddick Bowe. You barely can understand the man when he talks, all right? Boxing is a dangerous sport where you could die, you could literally lose your life or not be able to walk in the ring, okay? These kind of things happen. So when you hear boxers display death threats to their opponent, I don't want to hear them. I don't want to hear any of these casual fans act surprised, okay? That's how the sport is. It's a dangerous, barbaric sport, and you shouldn't be surprised at what the beast does, okay? That includes Deontay Wilder. And more importantly, remember, Mike Tyson in his career said that before his fight against Tyrell Biggs, he said, if I don't kill the man, the fight doesn't count. All right? Now, nobody seems to be having a problem with the stuff that Mike Tyson says because they believe, oh, he's a changed man. No, he's still the same guy. He's just a bit more toned out, okay? But if you were going back to those 80s, though, man, boxers was making these boxers were kind of making death threats all the time. You shouldn't be surprised by that at all. You know, boxing is a dangerous sport. And I get sick and tired when casual fans sit here and say, oh, why are you saying that you want to catch a fight? I'm going to kill the man. If he dies, he dies. Brother, boxing is a blood combat sport. It's barbarism. It's what people in this world, in this entire world, not just in America, but in this entire world, feeds off of, going back to the gladiator days. So don't be alarmed or be surprised at what the beast does or what these boxers will do in the ring. Hell, Sergey Kovalev literally killed a man in the ring. Didn't we forget that, people? Didn't we forget that the Crusher, Sergey Kovalev, killed a man literally in the ring? And then when he was in the press conference with Andre Ward, he said, I'm going to end your career. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill your family. All right? Don't be surprised by that. And what did Andre Ward do? He outboxed him and knocked him out in the second fight. That's all there is to it, okay? So, cut the crap. I don't want to hear it. And understand this. If you feel that boxing is too barbaric for you, don't watch the sport at all. Don't even watch combat sport. Don't watch MMA. Don't watch boxing anymore if you can't handle that. Go watch tennis. Go watch some other sports with non-contact, okay? But boxing is a dangerous combat sport. It's been that way ever since boxing was created. So deal with it. That's all that needs to be said on that. Y'all hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. Not Rojai. What's going on, homie? How you doing tonight, though, man? Yeah, I just if you're tuning in though, I was basically ranting about the fact that a lot of these trolls, complain and whine too much at Wilder when he said, "Oh, I don't like it when he said, oh, I want to catch a body on my resume." When you know damn well that Mike Tyson was famous for saying, "Oh, if I don't kill the man, the fight don't count," or I'll bleep you until you love me, the F word. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say the word because I don't want YouTube to put strikes on my page, on my channel. But you know what I meant. And also, he also said to Lennox Lewis, "Say, I want to eat his heart. I want to eat his children." Okay. Again, boxing is a barbaric sport. Okay, it's been that way since the gladiator days. All right, when gladiators used swords, weapons, and hand-to-hand combat, and the way you win is to literally kill your opponent, literally. Okay, don't be surprised at what the beast does and what it can do. Okay, that includes every other fighter in any weight division. When they all try to be classy and reserved, inside of them is basically warriors that want to try to hurt each other. That's what boxing is. Okay. Now, I'm not surprised of what a lot of people will say, well, if Dominic dies, he dies. Now, I'm not going to say I don't want Dominic Breazeale to die because I don't wish death on anybody. But Dominic Breazeale put himself in that predicament because he was basically one smoke with his family in Alabama, and Deontay Wilder's brother dealt with that and got embarrassed for it. You know what I mean? And not Rojas says, I got Breazeale getting mobbed. Yeah, I agree. I agree too. I don't see this fight going past 8 rounds because I think Deontay Wilder's quickness and his ability and his jab, though, is going to be the key. Because if Deontay Wilder can throw maybe about 50 to 100 jabs in each of these rounds, though, to try to keep Dominic Breazeale off balance, he's going to be in great shape because then he can lead into the right hand and Dominic Breazeale won't see it coming. And the fight will be easy for him. What it comes down to is this. I think for Dominic Breazeale to have at least a decent chance, he's going to have to show Wilder that he can hurt him. Now, we've seen him in other past opponents of what he can do. But he's been knocked out by AJ, and he has been hurt against several occasions. My first fight that I saw was against a 44-year-old man in Amir Mansour, and Mansour hurt him in the 4th round. Now, if Mansour didn't lacerate his tongue real bad, I believe he would have won the fight, and we would not have this conversation. Okay. The thing is this. Dominic Breazeale is going to have to hurt Wilder, and he's going to have to frustrate him, make the fight ugly. You know what I mean? William School Arnett, what's good, my brother? How you doing? I hope you're feeling better going through that treatment, though, man. Man, my hearts and prayers go out to you, brother. Yeah, for sure. Now, Rojas says Wilder is motivated for this fight, which is a bad news for Breazeale. Absolutely. You saw how he was in the press conference. Besides the trash talking, you see a guy that is motivated, pumped up, and with that killer instinct. Something I don't see in Dominic Breazeale. Understand? I don't see that killer instinct that is necessary to be champion. You can talk a good game, but if you don't have that killer instinct that you're going to do whatever it takes to win and knock your opponent out, you will not win any championships. And that's how boxing is. Wilder's coming in with much more killer instinct because remember, he wanted to have the rematch with Tyson Fury, but Fury made a 360 turn, signed with Top Rank, and ducked the rematch. Okay? Because many people in the LWBC and a lot of other people agreed that Deontay Wilder's knocked out, and I say knockout because the referee gave one of the worst counts I've ever seen in my life. Okay, he was knocked out cold, and I'm sure his family didn't want to see it. They didn't want to see Tyson Fury get hurt. So what did he do? He took the other route and went to Top Rank. Now he's fighting against this Tom Schwartz person that I never even heard of before. So you're telling me you chose that guy and choose to sign with the devil himself, Bob Arum, over a rematch with the champ? Yeah, right. Give me a break, bro. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? So this fight is going to be a tailored style of both of these guys. Dominic Breazeale is going to try to go in there and try to establish hurting Deontay Wilder using this big, massive frame. Now, I will admit, Dominic Breazeale has been staying in shape and really getting ready for this fight, but he's nowhere in the class of Deontay Wilder, and I don't see this fight going past 8 rounds, like I said before. But anything can happen in the heavyweight division. Now, we see in the past many underdog stories pulling off massive upsets. Buster Douglas did it against Mike Tyson, and the one that sticks out for me, one of my first 2 upsets in the heavyweight division was back. Do y'all remember back in 2001 when Hasim Rahman knocked out Lennox Lewis in the 5th round? Yeah, those things happen. Those things can happen. If you hit him in the right spot and knock him out, you can be the man in one night. I'm not gonna be in denial about that. But like I said, I don't see this fight going past 8 rounds. And now Rojas says Wilder may have ruined Fury, and no one stays the same after Wilder fights him. Agreed. And you know what's a great example too? Arthur Spilka. Do y'all remember how he was basically knocked out cold and sent to the hospital? And then he rose up again and faced against his other Poland fighter. Shoot, I forgot his name. Let me check it out real quick. William School Artist says Fury must have heard that Wilder the other day said that his management and AJ's management are talking. Now Fury Changer says Fury wants the rematch. What was that talk then when you decided to re-sign with Top Rank? Please. Talk is cheap, Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? Talk is cheap. So let me research Arthur's Spilka's last fight. Oh, sir. There you go. Let me check it out. There you go. There he is. Okay, Arthur Spilka, 30 years old. And he basically lost to Adam Kownacki back last year. Now, that was the fight after he got knocked smooth. I mean, just one of the worst knockouts one of the most brutal knockouts I've ever seen since the Severn knockout. Now, he only lasted about 4 rounds before Adam Kownacki just blazed with him, man. So it goes to the point that what William Scoot about what Now Rojas said, that a lot of these fighters that came out of these that faced against Wilder and got brutally knocked out or probably got punished will never ever be the same again. And now William Scoot Arnett says, yeah, he knows that he's screwed if AJ and Wilder fight. He would have to wait for the rematch with Wilder and AJ, and he would be waiting for a while. I agree. I definitely agree. But it's his fault. He tried to, play himself thinking that he's big time. When the fact is, you should be thanking Wilder for making you relevant again after you were basically out of boxing for your drug use and for your obesity, bro. You should be thanking Wilder for keeping your name out there and motivating you to get back in there. And he gave you an opportunity. After AJ ducked Wilder 5 straight times. You know what I mean? It's disgusting, though, bro. It really is disgusting, okay? So, after the Breazeale fight, which I believe, again, Wilder is going to knock him out. The thing is this. Wilder's got options. He can fight Adam Kownacki. He can rematch with anybody. He's got options. It's not like he's running out of options, okay? Now, AJ is going to fight in New York. The original plan was a fight against Gerald Miller, but Gerald Miller was acting stupid and took so many drugs. You know what I mean? Now, Roger says, how do you feel about AJ and Ruiz? Yeah, I'm just about to get into that. I mean, it's a decent fight. I mean, Ruiz has got good hand speed, but he's too slow against AJ. I don't see that fight going past 6 rounds. I think he wants to, tag him. I think AJ's gonna knock out Ruiz. This is not even a good fight. This is where Ortiz made the mistake. Ortiz and his crew made the mistake of declining 6 million. Was it 7 million, or is it 8 million? I forgot what it was, but somewhere around that range. But again, they made the mistake of declining the offer, trying to think that they can make much more with AJ, and now they got shut out. William Scoot just says Ortiz wants a rematch. Well, you better hope that Wilder is going to be graceful enough to give him a rematch. I believe he will do it. I think Ortiz saw what he did wrong in the first fight and going to make adjustments to it and make it each much more of a tougher fight. I think Ruiz, to me, is the one guy that will always going to give Wilder problems because of the southpaw stance and of his Cuban amateur background. And it's possible he can beat Wilder too. So, bottom line is this. Wilder's got options, and he's set. He'll be okay. But I'm getting tired of these trolls thinking, oh, he took the $100 million deal. He took the $100 million deal. You don't know what you're talking about, bro. You honestly do not know what you're talking about. And on paper, it sounds like a $100 million deal. Agreed. But do you know the stipulations? Do you know all the pitfalls of that deal? No, you don't. That's how you got to understand how boxing is. Boxing is a dangerous, sick sport, and these promoters and managers will do slimy deals to try to make the most out of these boxers. All right. Now Rojas says, Ortiz scares me, man. I don't want it. I don't want that rematch. Oh, I do. I definitely want the rematch. Listen, I'm not afraid of my favorite boxers losing. Okay, great boxers have lost in the past. It's not a great deal in the world. It's not a big deal if you lose. The big thing is this: is how do you respond back after the loss? Now, here's a great example for you. Evander Holyfield was the undisputed heavyweight champion back in 1992 when he faced against Riddick Bowe. Now, Riddick Bowe's size and his length gave the smaller Holyfield problems. But the thing is this: you got to give Evander Holyfield huge amounts of credit because he took a dangerous fight with Riddick Bowe instead of going for a match with Razor Ruddock. Okay, now when he lost, the sad part is he got more credit in the loss than he did when he was actually champion, and that's disturbing to me. Listen, the thing is this: Evander Holyfield, it's not his fault that Mike Tyson didn't prepare for Buster Douglas and got knocked out for it. Okay, that's the thing. Now Rojas says, I don't mind the fight, but I want the rematch after he deals with those UK cows. I agree. If he decides, I want to face those UK fighters first, then I wouldn't have a problem for it. Muhammad is the one. What's going on, brother? What's shaking, man? Just chilling though, bro. I came back out of the gym looking real good. I actually weigh at 167 pounds and getting stronger. My trainer basically said that I'm incorporating too much carbohydrates in my food, so I'm gonna have to start adding a little bit more protein. So I weigh 167. So my thing is I'm gonna have to add 1 gram of protein for how much I weigh. So 167 grams of protein is gonna have to do it for me in order to improve my vascular health. But I'm getting big though, bro. I'm getting big, man. He said, cool, my brother, keep it up. Yep, I will. No doubt about it. So I'm also going to plan on doing more different advanced workouts because I don't want to stick to the same routine over and over again because I won't see any improvements if that happens. So that's the goal. But back to what I was saying. Now, the sad part is Evander Holyfield got more credit when he lost the first time to Riddick Bowe. Now, he did took a year off, and you knew from Evander Holyfield's heart and his championship pride, he was going to come back and avenge the loss. And when Riddick Bowe got fat again in the second fight, Evander Holyfield did what many people thought he wouldn't do. He came back, he knocked out Alex Stewart, then he came back, fought against Riddick Bowe, and won the championship back. That's the real heart of a champion, okay? Now, the third fight was a bit controversial for me because I believe Evander Holyfield was basically, had exhaustion problems, and it felt like his timing was off of that one. So it's still a loss at the end of the day, but there was a little bit of controversy in that third fight, Now, when he lost the second time to Bowe, we saw what happened out of it. Bowe took a lot of punishment. He didn't dedicate himself to his boxing, and he was not physically in shape, and he did not take care of himself outside of that. And then you saw what happened in the Andrew Galata fights. On the other side of the ledger, Evander Holyfield kept changing trainers until he stuck one with Don Turner. He came back, beat Mike Tyson, and almost became undisputed heavyweight champion until he ran into Lennox Lewis. He said, Rojas says Holyfield was beating on Bowe in that first fight. I agree, exactly. If Evander didn't wear himself out in the later rounds, he beats Bowe. I firmly believe that. But what's the weird thing? The weird thing is Don King saw that fight and actually thought, hey, we can actually be with Holyfield this time. We believe he shot. But they didn't know the kind of championship heart this guy had. And in that first fight with Mike Tyson, he made Mike Tyson uncomfortable. He basically timed out everything, and he didn't take Mike Tyson's BS. And he wore the bully down until he knocked him out. That's how these fights work, man. That's how it works, brother. So now I hope that Deontay Wilder disposes Dominic Breazeale, and it's gonna happen. Believe that. Now, what happens from here on in is anybody's guess. But if Wilder does not get the AJ fight, he's still got options. He's still got options. He can fight anybody that he wants. He's in control now. Okay. This is where AJ and his crew blew the deal when he basically was offered the $50 million deal. And then he turned back, went to Hearn, and said, "Oh no, don't take the deal. We can actually make more if we let the fight build up, you know?" I wish Ike hadn't lost his mind. Me too, I agree. But back to what I was saying. Now, right now, who's more popular in the boxing scene at this point? Okay? Between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, who's more well-known? It's Wilder. He's been on talk shows. He's been on magazines. He's been interviewed by 78 Sports TV on numerous occasions, and he gave the LWBC a shout out earlier today. Salute the barbershop conversation for that video, bro. Go ahead and check that out. But the thing is this. Wilder, at this point, if he wants to go undefeated, go 50-0, I would have no problem with that. And when you look back at his career, you know, you're going to look back and say this is one of the most devastating knockout punchers in the game. But unfortunately, he was not able to get the fights that he wanted to really test his greatness. Or the other flip side is this. The fighters around him weren't willing to step up to him and challenge that greatness in the ring against him. Okay? That's the other side of that argument there. Now, haters will say, "Oh, this is a disgrace, though, man. You know, bum squad. You know, he's no brain. We don't buy no bums." Okay, I bet you half of those so-called bums that Wilder faced, you think you could beat them, right? Please, get out of here with that, man. Get out of here with that. All right? Now, like I said before, and here's the other thing, though, too. AJ needs Wilder. Wilder doesn't need AJ. Okay? You could say that other shoes on the road because Wilder needed AJ to be undisputed. Now, in the course of a year, that's completely changed now. Wilder is building his brand. He's becoming more popular. And the other thing, too, is he has character. He has personality. And that's what sells. You know what I mean? Now, Rocha says, Wilder has to fight 3 times a year to get to that 50-0. I agree. But you also have to consider that the hand injury that Deontay Wilder has. You know what I'm saying? Now, remember, I think all of 2016, he fought like 3 times and had to repair his hand. So he has to be mindful of that. And plus, he ain't getting younger either. So he's going to have to revolutionize how he'll fight against other opponents if he wants to get to that 50-0 record. Can he do it? I believe he can. But he's going to have to take care of himself very well. And also, here's another thing, though, too. I think a lot of the brothers also forgot the fact that in the last 2 fights, he's come in at 212 and 215. Okay? Now, if he comes in at a natural weight of 225 with that blazing speed, with that speed that he has to his punches, he's going to have a better chance of knocking out Breazeale. Okay? Now, if he was at 225 against Tyson Fury, you go back to that 12th round, it would have been over. Tyson Fury would not have gotten up, okay? I think this time around, I hope that Deontay Wilder comes in at a much more of a bigger but more memorable weight, like at 220, 225, to make sure to increase and retain that punching power he has. But trust me, if he gets Breazeale right on the sweet spot there, night-night. That's right, night-night. Night-night. You know what I mean? It's gonna be absolute night-night. Get the pillows ready, get the blankets ready. You're gonna need the bed. The bed is gonna be your ring when you see the lights upstairs. You understand? You know how that is. Now Roja says, I think as Wilder ages, he will brush it up on his craft. He'll have to. He'll have to if he has to try to get to 50-0. Muhammad is the one says, the only thing about our champion is he don't sleep on Breazeale. That's right. Exactly. William School Arnett says, Abil, what do you think about the WBC owner and adherent over the comments on killing Breazeale in the ring? Bruh, it's just a publicity thing, okay? Look, again, boxing is a barbaric sport. I mean, listen, Mike Tyson was notorious when he said before his fight with Tyrell Bates, if I don't kill the man, the fight don't count. All right? And he said the same thing when he was going against Razor Ruddock after he lost to Buster Douglas. So I don't want to hear this kind of stuff, all right? It's just ridiculous though, bro. You know? I mean, here's the thing. I'm sure people don't want to wish death on anybody. I understand that. But listen, boxing is like I said, boxing is a sick sport. There have been men who died in the ring throughout the whole sports history. Okay? So that hearing thing, I just view it as a publicity stunt. It's not going to lead to anywhere. Okay? Not going to really lead to anywhere, but I'm sure they're going to tell Wilder just to try to tone down on that. You know what I'm saying? The regular trash talk, say, I'm going to knock you out. That's fine. But people need to get over that, though, bro. I mean, I swear, this new generation has become real soft to me. Honestly, bro. It's become really soft because you can't even go in there and try to stand up and be a man because you got people that's going to give you that kind of fake outrage on social media platforms or just try to pretend they're tough on these streets on YouTube, bro. You know what I mean? And now, not Rocha says, where do you rate Wilder's power within the great punches of the past? I would put him in the top 10. I think he's not more powerful than George Foreman, who's the most dangerous knockout puncher in the heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? I think he also Ernie Shavers, Sonny Liston, Larry Holmes, and also Muhammad Ali too are in my top 5. I think Wilder's in the top 10, but I'm gonna have to really assess how these guys fight. William Schoonharden says, I think they are just trying to cover their asses to the public. I agree too. I definitely agree. But like I said before, these people in the public need to just be quiet, bro. And Muhammad as one made an excellent point. Too PC, bro. Exactly. Way too PC, bro. Listen, the same good goes for professional wrestling too. Listen, there were a lot of things back in the day. I grew up during the ruthless aggression era where you were allowed to hit people with chairs, hit people with sledgehammers, with weapons, okay? And we're allowed to bleed themselves, okay? Gregory Wyatt, the troll assassin. What's going on, brother? Good to hear from you, my man. Thanks for coming in, all right? I get sick and tired of people always talking about, oh, why are you saying that? Oh, what you don't want to? Why you make these damn threats for? Okay, well, here's a little flip argument to y'all. Before the second fight with the Bermain Stabern, y'all remember this? Y'all remember how Bermain Stabern said, "I won't kill. I'm gonna kill. I'm gonna kill him, bro. I'm gonna kill him." You know what I mean? I mean, it's absolute fake outrage, though, bro. It's just fake outrage. You know, it's like one of those people in the social media that's gonna say, "Oh, you can't say that joke around here. You know, it's basically a freelance there, bro. You can't say that to me." Idiots, bro. Shut up with that, man. Idiots, bro. Let me get a drink out of this though, bro. This got me a little heated up on this. Trust me. I hate these kind of people though, bro. My generation though, man, it's just it's sickening, bro. I grew up in the old school hard knocks where if you had a problem with somebody, you dealt with that person. You don't try to sneak. You don't try to sneak around and try to go to authority figures. If you had a problem with somebody, you dealt with them personally. Okay. So let's go ahead and check out the chat here. Now Rojas said, boxing is a gentleman's sport. Absolutely, 100% agreed. The sport's not for the weak-minded. You're gonna get knocked out and you're gonna get destroyed in the ring if you're weak-minded. William School Arnett says, hell, Wilder's dad is a preacher and he would be in his son's ear if he had meant it. Right, exactly. Listen, Wilder grew up with a stable family home and basically was disciplined very well, okay? Even his father is not taking a lot of that death threat seriously, okay? Because the one thing that many churches will preach to you You don't wish death on anybody, even on your worst enemy, okay? And that's what I believe in too. I don't wish anything on anybody, okay? Now, we can always joke around and say, "Oh, I want this guy to die and everything." Bro, it's just, we don't believe that. And William Scrutardner says another thing is we live in a politically correct world and everything is offensive. Exactly. I get sick and tired of it though, bro. I get so sick and tired of people. You know, so here's the worst part too. It's a lot of these lynch mobs though, bro, that will try to jump on a dead man. Now, here's a great example of this. And salute to Fanan on his Patreon page. Go ahead and subscribe to the Patreon page as well. Great content as well. When Oprah Winfrey was leading that fake Michael Jackson documentary, they were trying to pile up a lot of garbage and a lot of lies on a dead man. And despite the fact that he beat the case on his child pornography, child molestation case. Okay. Now, the bottom line is this. You don't try to go in there and support a lynch mob on social media or anywhere, because when things go bad and when the real truth comes out, you're gonna look like a damn fool when that happens. Okay, so when I see any of those, say, "Oh, we had to stand in there. This ain't right," get out of here with that. I'm not gonna be part of that. It's complete fake outrage to me. You want to go do something? How about you try to stand up for racial injustices? How about stand up for, police killing black people on an everyday basis? All right. That's what you need to be outraged for. Nari Roja said that these guys don't like Wilder. They would have hated Ali. You know what? Not Roja, you make up an excellent point. Remember, and before I'm going to get into Ali for a second though. But William Scrutardner says, "Yeah, bro, I lost a lot of respect for Oprah." I never really liked Oprah anyway, though, bro. I always felt that Oprah was fake to me. Always fake to me. She's one of those people that feeds off of people's misery and attention. And if I were the Jackson family, I would not even accept their apology. Because, again, like Fanan says, you don't mean what you say because you were trying to make attention for yourself. You know what I mean? Now, let me get back to the whole the Ali point, because now Roja makes an excellent point. He said, if these guys don't like Wilder, they would have hated Ali. Exactly. You know why? Because when Ali was becoming heavyweight champion, he was doing the exact same thing. Calling out Sonny Liston, trash talking Joe Frazier. He called this man a Uncle Tom and a gorilla. And people were laughing at that. Okay? This man stood up against the U.S. government for refusing to fight in Vietnam, and he got tons of hate for it. Remember, this was the 60s. It wasn't until he had Parkinson's disease where people started to respect this man. And a lot of these people that say, "Oh, I've always been an Ali fan." No, you're not. No, you're not. You were displaying your type of hate even in his prime because you wanted to see the man suffer. All right? I've done many projects in my school days about Ali. And I researched all the racism and all the bigotry that was taking place there, bro. Don't give me that argument, okay? Don't give me that. You you wished harm to Ali during his prime, and when he was harming his prime, that's when you got him the respect. And I would dump any type of those comments when I see that. Every time. Every time. Muhammad is the one says they did have Ali hate back then. Even some of our own people too. Yep, exactly. Preach on that, Muhammad is the one. William Scrutardner says, "I tried to give people the benefit of the doubt until they showed me something different." Well, you're a better man than me, because when I see people who they are the first time around, I believe it. And I don't give no benefit of the doubts to anybody. Now, if I get a chance to know you a little better and he did something offensive, maybe. But if it's a repeated behavior, over, bro. Over. I'll tell you a little story though. There was this one person of mine back in my junior high days that was another African American young dude, man. But I don't even talk to this dude no more because I haven't even talked to him at all and I don't really care. But the point is this. This was a dude that basically, always loved to play basketball, always tried to be cool and everything. But when it came down to, basically fighting or standing up for people, he'll do it for you. Now, fast forward to maybe 3 years ago when we're now in our 20s. This guy was caught slinging a prostitute. And you know what he said? You know what he said? He said, "Oh no, man! I thought it was cool though, man. You know, something like that, bro." But the evidence of that is that he was trying to date a 5th grader when he was just in the 7th grade. Now you think about that. Once I believed that, once I saw that, I barely associated with him after that. I did give him a little bit what's up though and everything though, but in terms of talking with them and giving them any love or anything like that, no, you get no respect there, bro. No respect for that. That gets to the point of once a person shows who they are, believe them. All right. The OG Gregory Wyatt says, in actuality, they loved Cassius Clay, but they hated Muhammad Ali. Exactly. Especially when he joined the Nation of Islam and changed his name because he felt that the name was basically a slavery name. That's a fact. Go back and read your history. Okay. Now, I'm not a preacher, and also good point. Gregory Wyatt says the broader society loved the neutrality that compromised Ali. Damn right. Because Ali couldn't speak for himself anymore. Okay? If he never had Parkinson's disease, trust me, he would be the one kneeling with Colin Kaepernick, standing up for, racial equality, standing up for, police reform, everything else that's been going on right now today. He would be speaking for it, but doing it in different ways that will still offend people to this day. All right. That's why we still have people like the Colin Kaepernicks of the world who lost an entire NFL career to speak up on racial injustices. And he's still getting paid for it. All right. So that's just basically a flawed argument to me. And I don't even believe a lot of these people that say, "Oh, I've always been a Ali." Bogus. And no, you were hating on the man and you wanted him to see him suffer, but then you want to show him love when he's actually compromised. Give me a break. But man, I almost went through a whole hour talking about the whole Ali thing. Salute to Nat Rohab for making that excellent point though, bro. So what it translates to today is this. Deontay Wilder, he stands up for all the problems going on in America. He was the guy that basically stood up for Jack Johnson to get to reverse that arrest back then. Gregory Wyatt said if Wilder joined the nation, the government would mark him for destruction. You damn right. Yeah, damn right, Gregory Wyatt. You know how that is, man. You know how that is. But like I was saying, Wilder speaks up for all the racial injustice going on. He uses his platform correctly. He stood up for Jack Johnson to waive off the charges that were against him, the Mann Act. He also supports the movement of the LWBC. We're supporting the platform that stands up for the black athlete. And he shows lots of love to his fans and understands his heritage, where he came from. You know what I mean? Have we ever seen AJ do anything like that? I would ask the haters that question. Have you ever seen Anthony Joshua do anything remotely close to what Wilder has done? William Scoop Arnett says, back in the day, Ali had the same problems that we had today. And that's the media. They didn't like him and said the worst things that they could find. Oh yeah. I definitely agree. The only person that gave him that respected Ali was basically Howard Cosell. But if you ask any other media members, absolutely not. Get out of here with that. Now Rojas says, people who speak their minds are always brought with adversity. Oh yeah, all the time. You see how much resistance Wilder gets every day? That's what they go through all the time. That's how it is. That's exactly how it is. Now, when AJ and Wilder fight, I'm going to be right here watching this fight. I'm definitely going to order that pay-per-view. You best believe that. And if the fight gets in America too, I will spend every single piece of dollar that I had to make sure to order a ticket and basically order a ticket in a hotel room, and I will be there in the arena watching Wilder dispose the high job of AJ. Winston Arnett says Howard always had Ali's back. Yep, he was one of the only people in the mainstream media to respect the name of Muhammad Ali instead of the original Classics Clay name. Now, remember in the match against Cleveland Williams tried to name him, tell him by his original name, Cash, instead of Muhammad Ali. You know what he did? Ali kept just tagging this dude like, what's my name? What's my name? Pop, pop, pop. What's my name? What's my name? Pop, pop, pop. You know what I mean? What's my name? What's my name? Two, two, two. You know? He didn't want to just knock him out. He wanted to embarrass him. Don't you ever disrespect my name. Respect my name, you know? That's Ali for you, especially in his younger days when he had the speed and the power before he got sent into prison for not fighting the Vietnam War, which was the bogus war at that. It made absolutely no sense. Man, I vented out a lot of stuff though. There you go, guys. Yeah, man. Hey, guys. Everybody who's in the chat though, man, go ahead and share this video though too, and share the love about the MehariNation Sports Podcast here, man. More engagement, the better though, and the more opportunities we get subscribers though. So, did Cleveland Warriors even land a punch? I highly doubt it. Every punch Ali landed was just with punishment purposes. He wanted not only just embarrass, but to punish him, not knock him out, but punish him. You know what's the worst part is? The worst part is it's not about getting knocked out, because if you get knocked out, you get knocked out. You can get up and bounce back. It's the punishment, though, bro. Just punishing them. You know what I mean? That's how it is, though, man. You know what I mean? Oh, peace out, bro. William scoring is gonna about to lead, though, bro. Okay, William scoring. Hey, thanks for joining on the channel, though, bro. Hey, I hope you feel better, though, man. Stay strong, though, bro. You'll be in my prayers, though, brother. Show a lot of love to William School Arnett, though, bro. Thank you, Muhammad. It's the one. I really appreciate it, though, brother. Really appreciate it. So I'm gonna make sure to continue to have these kind of live streams, though, bro. I'll try to mix in some more boxing talk along with some basketball talk there too. And right now, the Western Conference Finals are going on right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up and watch the game though too. But I will be back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Time, with some more boxing talk there as well, and talk about also the 154-pound division though too. Lot of different things going on, and we got the Jermell Charlo versus Tony Harrison rematch. You know what I mean? So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna be back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Time. I'm gonna go ahead and watch the Western Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals between the Portland Trail Blazers and the Golden State Warriors. So this has been the MehariNation Sports Podcast here. Salute to the entire LDBC. Much love to everybody in the chat for all the engagement, though, guys. And I'll be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time. 154 got interesting, Gravy White said. Oh, yeah, absolutely. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. So everybody there, we're going to talk about the 154-pound class and all the matchups that's going to happen now, ever since J. Rob Williams pulled off the upset last weekend. Okay, that's all for now, guys. I'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time, same channel. Have a good night, everybody.